Alright guys, Liverpool have just beaten Everton by 4 goals to 1, and I don't think it was as great a game as a 4-1 win makes it sound. Especially in the first half. There were 3 goals in the first half, but it wasn't the most entertaining game. It was very stop-start. Liverpool started really well. The first 20 minutes, Liverpool looked like they could win 6 or 7-0. Everton were that bad and Liverpool were that good, to be honest. They could have scored twice in the first 2 minutes. Matip had a header put wide, and Salah had a chance that he definitely should have done better with. But Henderson got the breakthrough. Lovely left-footed shot from the edge of the box. Pickford didn't really stand a chance with it. And the second goal, 10 minutes later, coming from a lovely through ball from Henderson. Salah from a tight angle puts it in the back of the net past Pickford. And that chance for Salah for his second goal, for his first goal, was really similar to a moment the year Liverpool got pipped to the title by Man City. It was the last game Liverpool dropped points in that season, because both teams went on a ridiculous winning run towards the end of the season. And Salah missed a chance exactly the same as that against Pickford at the same end of the stadium at Goodison Park, which, if he had scored it, would have won Liverpool the league. Yeah, try not to think about that right now. We have just beaten our rivals 4-1. Let's not think about the time where we could have won the league. But yeah, it was a really well taken goal. And Everton went for a tactic of trying to disrupt Liverpool's flow, sort of. And it cost them about 4 yellow cards in the first half, but it pretty much also got them back into the game. They managed to catch Liverpool out with... It wasn't really a counter-attack, just bringing the ball forward. And I think it was Richarlison had the ball in front of Liverpool's defence. Fabinho was slightly out of position, and Rondon made a really good run to distract Joel Matip and play in Demarai Gray. And there was a big gap between Matip and Trent because of Matip had to follow Rondon. So it was a brilliant, intelligent run by Rondon, and Gray did well. It was quite a good finish. It was a finish you'd expect him to make, but it was still a decent finish. He managed to slot it between Alisson's legs, and it trickled over the line. Made it 2-1 at half time, and I was really impressed with the referee tonight for the majority of the game. I think it was Paul Tierney. Everton had a couple of, they had a couple of moments in the first half where Andros Townsend and Demarai Gray both blatantly dived around the edge of the box, and he booked both of them, and rightly so. Then it went into the second half, and Everton didn't have the same momentum they had at the end of the first half. And Salah managed to score from a counter-attack from a really poor touch from Seamus Coleman. That goal was very similar to, I'm just comparing Salah's goals here, it was quite similar to a goal Suarez scored against Everton at Anfield in January 2014. So, God, that's nearly 8 years ago. I'm getting old. But it was really well taken. It wasn't the cleanest finish ever, but he managed to get enough on it to put it past Pickford into the bottom corner. And then Jota finished it off to score the fourth, and it was a really good goal. Robertson played a ball into him, which was slightly behind him, but he managed to flick it around, I think it was Ben Godfrey, and sort of slice it into the top of the net, sending Pickford the wrong way. Brilliant finish, brilliant goal, proper striker's goal. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Liverpool won 4-1. And However, as much of as like a big defeat it is for Everton, I still don't think it's a defeat where the Everton fans will be going, Rafa out, like, proper Arsenal fan TV finger out style. Um, I just I don't know how Everton really go forward, because it seems like they've tried pretty much everything. They had a period where they brought through a lot of youngsters, players like Ross Barkley. That was probably 6 or 7 years ago. Probably mostly under Roberto Martinez. That was. They've tried chucking lots of money at it with the amount of players they've spent. I reckon Everton must have spent or must have bought more players for more than 20 million than Liverpool have in terms of the actual number of players. Like, there's a player for Everton called Jean-Philippe Gbamin who's played 4 times for them in just over 2 years, and he cost over 20 million. So, like, it's ridiculous signings like that. Who else has been poor for them in terms of signings? Alex Iwobi, bang average, and he cost them like 30 million probably. Richarlison for 50 million, okay, he's been decent, but has he really been 50 million pounds? Okay, he definitely hasn't been one of the worst signings. They signed someone who looks like they could be going to prison now for 45 million. Michael Keane cost them about 25 million. Pickford 30 million. Okay, Pickford wasn't a bad signing overall. Gomez, Allen, Decore, Rodriguez, like so many of them. Davy Klassen's got to be up there with the worst as well. They signed so many flops, Everton. But yeah, Liverpool were really good today, though. Usually this game ends in a draw. I think 8 out of the last 9 before this game were all either 0-0, 1-1, draws, and there was the 2-2 last season as well. The only game that hasn't been a draw was when Sadio Mane scored the winner in stoppage time in December 2016. But other than that, they've all been draws. As I said, I don't know how Everton really move forward, especially, I don't know how long the transfer ban is, but it just feels like they've got so many, like the defence isn't good enough. The midfield two's not bad. Decore and Allen, that's not too bad. That's quite a good midfield duo. And I think bringing Calvert-Lewin back when he's fit will do a lot for them. But I just think their defence is too poor. Pickford, if we're being honest, isn't really... He's a lower half of the table keeper, for me personally. I think Ramsdale will take his starting place. The one thing Pickford has got going for him in terms of the England starting spot is that he's never really actually had a bad performance for England. In fact, in general, in the 2 tournaments he's been to, he's put in really good performances. So I think that's what's keeping him as England's number 1 for the moment. But yeah, fairly easy for Liverpool. There were a few moments where it could have gone a bit worse, but other than that, Liverpool were fairly comfortable, and it's just more of what was expected really for Everton, considering the way their form's been recently. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.